Hello, everybody. Shavua Tov, Chodesh Tov. We're into Kislev. I've been reading attentively all of your posts, and I've been in contact with your peer moderators, and I'm very happy to see that as a group you've engaged with the material. It's hard to believe we're almost winding down. After this week, we have our final topic, which perhaps for some of you, I hope for all of you, will connect the dots in a way, coming at our subject from a place that isn't often considered, that of what has been called women's prayer, really from the Ashkenazi world. You'll get up to that. Circling back to Hasidism and prayer, in its origins, it certainly was revolutionary. It's one of the reasons that the Vilna Gaon was such a opponent of it and felt that it was undermining what was understood at that time in the 18th century to actually be Judaism. Over time, the Hasidim and the Misnagdim joined forces because the Haskalah, Jewish enlightenment, was seen as even more threatening, and also because the founder of Chabad, Shneur Zalman of Liadi, really took a different tact by returning the importance of Torah study to Hasidism in a way that the other founding generation of Rebbes or second generation did not, and that effort bore fruit in a kind of acceptance. Now, also, as far as the role of the Rebbe, some of you have touched on this idea that the tzaddik, the Rebbe as tzaddik, is this weird kind of intercessor, almost like a priest. And for many of the Hasidic groups, and there were many, that in fact was very much the case. Again, just a little historical information. Shneur Zalman of Liadi, the founder of Chabad, he pushed back against that. He felt that he didn't want the Rebbe to have that kind of power. And that's one of the reasons why you have shluchim. Even to this day, you have people going out into the world representing the Rebbe. Although with Menachem Mendel Schneerson, Alav Shalom, that kind of got a little bit confused because there are many people in the Chabad world who do believe that he was the Mashiach and had some very special power. And he didn't really try to get rid of that. So over the generations, from being very radical in many ways, although not rejecting mitzvot at all, but in their approaches, bringing in something new within the guise of tradition, you had a hardening. And so if we fast forward to the end of the 19th century, we see a very conservative movement that has nonetheless swept all over Eastern Europe and parts of Central Europe. And the reason that I feel it is important for you to connect with Buber's readings, his interpretations, is because he was trying to get at some of the root of the experience of the relationship between God and an individual that he perceived as so vital to Hasidic religious and spiritual practice, and to their theology also. So just to keep that in mind, that his was not a sort of historical inquiry. It was really more about what does it mean to have a relationship to God when we pray. And so I leave you with that one as we get into our teaching of this week. What does it mean to you to have a quote unquote relationship, connection, feeling, um, confidence, however you understand God and however you pray? So I look forward to reading these posts and wishing everybody a very good week.